Chug, 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 chug. Woo! Nice work, man.
All the rum is on the bottom.
That's all right. That's the way it should be. I would have joined you, but I already drank all mine.
Yeah. If you're just catching in, Brian and I are having a let's get really drunk fest.
Well, this is not the repeat of the drunk episode. This is just more of a I'm sick of being an adult this week. Between work, politics, social media, and family, I'm just ready to throw in the towel on being an adult altogether.
Yeah, it's been a mentally exhausting week.
Yeah.
On all levels. I think next week I'm just gonna not internet at all and just see if that makes me feel like a better person.
I will say the one bright spot in all the politics / internet social media is the catching Donald Trump's wife plagiarizing Michelle Obama.
No, she didn't do that.
Is one of the funniest things I've ever seen, because the best part is, I'm watching it, and I obviously, like most people, didn't realize right off the bat that she was reading somebody else's speech. But the memes are out of this world. I mean, they are so funny. There was oh God, what was it?
I saw one that said that if people say that Melania Trump didn't graduate college, they said, I got the photo evidence right here. There's a picture of Michelle Obama graduating college.
I saw that one. But I saw this one, she's like, I have never quoted anybody else. She's like, I've never used anybody else's quotes. She's like, all I can say is that 7 years ago, and then it starts listing all these famous, I had a dream. It was like, and it just went on. I feel bad for her because,
she probably doesn't know any better.
She has absolutely no idea. She doesn't even speak the best English.
She's a fucking model immigrant. She doesn't know fucking shit.
I mean, don't get me wrong. She speaks very well for the most part, but I mean, she's not the most elegant speaker when she's up there. So she's just trying to get through the whole thing and be, she's like you said, she's a mail order bride from another country.
She's why he likes them pretty and stupid.
Yeah, and well, I do not know the level of her intelligence. We can guess.
I'm gonna assume it's low.
But she probably never in her life thought that she might be.
The best thing is the article I read. Just she's every Republican wife that you ever see in politics. She's just a fucking hardcore conservative and all that stuff. And I was reading articles well, she really likes Michelle Obama.
Yeah.
And so she started reading to the speechwriter stuff that Michelle Obama has said. Fucking Republican wife would ever.
I kind of feel bad for her. She actually seems like a really nice person. I feel like her biggest mistake in life is. But I feel like her biggest mistake in life is being married to Donald Trump, and.
Yeah, married to the fucking I don't want to get in there. I'm just
at no point in her life did she probably ever think, you know what, one day I'm going to have to work on my speeches because I could be the first lady. So anyway, I felt bad for her in this whole situation, but it is pretty funny. But my favorite part, last little piece about her her speech, is that in her speech, not only did she, quote, well, not even quote, she stole from, whoever wrote it for her stole from Michelle Obama's speech.
As anybody who's written a college essay in the last, day where it is due, you've copied some stuff and then just, change words around.
Well, I still don't think it's as bad as Scott Baio being your best speaker that you have for day one. But anyway, we won't talk about politics. The RNC, if you really want to see something that's just going down in flames, check it out. But my favorite part of the speech that she gave was that at one point in her speech, she actually had 2 lines that were as follows: Donald Trump will never give you up, and he will never let you down. She rickrolled the entire Republican committee. Never gonna give you up, never gonna let you down, unless your name is Donald Trump. Woo!
Maybe this is a very sophisticated
rickroll.
Donald Trump is just trying to ruin the Republican chance becoming president.
Well, he has just about done that, considering Ted Cruz, who everyone already doesn't like, gets up there, when he gets up and gives a speech and sounds like the voice of reason, he's begging Americans to vote their conscience.
Like this.
Yeah, dude. When a Republican gets up at the national conference and begs America to vote their conscience. Oh, anyway, okay, we won't talk anymore about this.
Then he dropped his pants and just shook his dick to the crowd.
I know a lot of proud, good Republican people, and I feel bad because I feel like they are watching the death spiral of their party.
I'll be honest. I voted Republican.
Oh, I voted Republican a few times in my life.
I did it. I voted for Bush twice. One time for serious, one time to piss my wife off and make her vote.
This just in, the Geek Dad Report will be looking for a new co-host because Ryan the traitor.
Oh, sorry.
I'm just kidding. No, man,
I grew up in a very Republican household, so I didn't really have like a political opinion until I went to college.
No, that's fine. Hey, you can vote whatever way you feel. We're not giving, we're not condemning anybody who votes Republican by any means whatsoever.
But let's get out of politics because that's not what people are here to listen to. A bunch of white, straight men talk about politics.
I just had to mention how funny it is. I'm not even getting political, Ryan. It's hilarious. It's like
we got San Diego Comic-Con happening.
Yeah, we're at San Diego Comic-Con right now, everybody. If you haven't noticed, this is. I think we used this bit last year, but we're going to use it again since we said it the first time, so we're not technically plagiarizing ourselves. Look at this. They set up, San Diego was so kind that they love our show so much. They set up a back room that looks just like my house with the bookshelf.
Yes. This is what
Ryan's apartment.
Famous, Brian. They will read they're great. My air conditioning unit.
Yeah.
Because it's like 200,000% humidity.
In San Diego? It's not that hot in San Diego.
Yeah.
I was just there. Yeah. Well, as you can see, they spared no expense. I mean, this isn't green screen. Look, this is real stuff. I can touch it. This is imported. It's amazing. Yeah. So, but no, we are not in San Diego.
We maybe next year.
But we are live on the internet. Yay!
Woo! Internet.
And we're live. We're episode 63 now.
It's like us and like kittens.
Yeah, that's how popular the Geek Dad Report is.
That water skiing squirrel.
Okay, you can't knock the water skiing squirrel, man. That thing is amazing.
Yeah, it's pretty boss.
You know what? We should try and book him on our show.
I heard he works for nuts.
Well, you know what? I just got an idea, Ryan. I love you, but we may have to replace you with a cat chasing the water skiing squirrel. You can still be the producer.
That's gonna be hard. That's a lot of camera tracking.
That's probably true. We don't have sophisticated equipment. Anyway, whatever. All right, let's get the show back on track.
Until technology gets an upgrade, I guess it's just going to have to stick around.
Yeah, well, another thing that needs an upgrade is our intro music segment. Since our ongoing blood feud with our music sponsor is reaching an epic, like Kung Fu style showdown here in the near future, we are still coming up with new bits to entertain you guys and introduce the show. So this week, I had a few things planned that I'd never practiced or followed through with. So Ryan has saved the day, and he has something very special. He wanted to go a little different direction. So today, to introduce episode 63, Ryan has some slam poetry for you guys. He's laying down the fucking slam knowledge.
Yeah. Well, as for people that know me, I fancy myself a writer. And I was at work this week listening to the last podcast. Tears coming down my face from the beautiful rendition of 22 cover that Brian did.
Is that what that was from? I don't know what you're talking about. I thought I made that up all my life.
I may not be able to sing, but I can write a little bit of poetry. So, and I've never actually done slam poetry before. Well, or I don't even know if this is slam poetry. It's like 5 lines.
Well, whatever.
I didn't want to go any farther.
Okay, you know what? Now you're rambling because you're nervous. You're not backing out on this. All right, here we go, Ryan.
All right. This is the Geek Dad Report.
Speak up.
Please say your retort. We won't sell you short. Just plug us into your data port. If this show doesn't make you giggle and snort, fuck you.
Boom! Land the slam poetry knowledge on you motherfuckers. Wham! Nice work,
And
Ryan.
that's how many times I can rhyme report.
That you are on your way to a famous rapper status. I know a few people. I'm gonna make a phone call.
As long as I can do it in a very monotone, straight voice.
Well, everybody, I'm not wearing headphones, so hopefully that turned out well.
Yes, well, I could hear it just fine.
All right, well, then I'm sure everyone else probably hears just fine. I look forward to listening to myself because all I really heard was myself giving some background noise. So,
Welcome.
On that note, welcome everybody to episode 63 of the Geek Dad Slam Poetry Report.
The Geek Damn Report.
Geek Goddamn Report. I am your host, as always, the non-poetry but beautifully Taylor Swift singing host, Brian West, and that is my amazingly rhyming, rapping, ridiculously awesome co-host, Ryan Tomlinson.
I do what I can.
Take a bow. Take a bow, you beautiful son of a bitch.
50.
Booyah. He's doing a curtsy. I said a bow, not a curtsy. What the hell?
What
Whatever.
am I going to fucking shove my face into the keyboard? That's about all I can do.
Yeah, you should. Your commitment needs to be better.
Uh,
But anyway, we are the one show, everybody, that is dedicated, formulated, specially created, into making sure that you know all the shit you need to know so that when you're standing at your water cooler like this, and you're talking to Bob, and you're like, hey, Bob.
Yes.
You know about the
hey,
new
Bob,
road?
I don't want to talk about politics anymore. Let's talk about real shit.
Mom's getting tired. Hey, Bob, Mom's getting tired, so let me finish what I'm saying here. Do you know Star Wars Celebration's going on in London right now? No, you fucking didn't, because you don't listen to the Geek Dad Goddamn Report like I do.
Yeah.
And I know
I
this
don't
shit.
feel like going back to work, so I'm just going to keep standing here at the water cooler.
Yeah, imaginary article with my arm like this. That was a long monologue. Intro. I don't even know. Anyway, that is why we are the one show. That is super awesome.
Yes.
Hang on, everybody.
Oh God, why are we hanging on? What's happening?
All right.
It's like
I fixed it.
video
No. Fucking Norton antivirus update popped up on my screen again.
Oh my God.
And you know where it clicks to like get rid of? That's where they put the OK, so it tricks you. Right? I didn't fall for it this time.
Yeah.
Oh, I can't wait to get rid of this stupid computer.
You hit the X, right?
Yeah, I hit remind me in a day, dicks.
Yeah.
I won't even be on my computer in a day. Haha, joke's on you, Norton antivirus.
Yeah.
You didn't protect nothing. You protect like a condom full of holes. Stupid Norton. Unless you want to sponsor the show, then we'd be more than happy to tell everyone about your brilliant products and how you stop internet trolls and evildoers online.
Yeah. You can be just as effective with not downloading weird images.
Yeah. Wait, listen. If you want to download some weird pornography, that's your private. It's America. You should be able to.
Yeah,
you shouldn't be attacked by malicious malware.
There's a price to pay. Like having unprotected sex with random people.
That's true.
You shouldn't be getting random photos off the internet.
Did you just say that having
you're
Norton...
gonna catch some funky ass shit.
Did you just say having Norton security is like having sex with random ass people off the street?
I'm saying having Norton security is like having sex with the girl that says she's gonna take the pill in the morning, but you're just not quite sure if she's going to.
It's like saying yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Anyway, all right. On that note, way to go, Ryan. What's Okay, we got a different segue. I cannot segue to Geek Dad Moment of the Week.
Geek Dad Moment of the Week.
You want to go from?
I got mine is
right, whatever.
On Sunday. We have our kids have quiet time, and basically it's like the part of the day where like we just want like an hour in the middle of the day where we're not having to do a shit.
Yeah.
So
dude, that's what kids
like
naps
the kids are watching
a
movie, stuff like that. So, but my son came out and he's like, "Dad, do you want to watch a movie with me?" I was like, "Well, what are you watching?" You know, I'm preparing myself to say no. Then he like slowly raises the movie up and it's Force Awakens. Like, fuck yeah, I'll watch that with you.
It's like, duh.
So we just lay down and on my bed and watched it on my Blu-ray player in my bedroom together and just laughing about everything. And because I just realized we bought it, but we haven't watched it. And we haven't seen it since we saw it in the theaters together. And
dude, you know how to download it? You didn't upload it to the... Did you upload it to the Disney Anywhere?
Yeah, we have the Disney. I just have the Disney app.
Well, did you get the DVD with the code?
Yeah,
dude.
Yeah.
Man, it's already on all my kids' iPads. You need to step up.
Yeah, I know. And so yeah, it was our first time watching it together, and we were just laughing, and he was just telling all these funny jokes and stuff like that. And he kind of asked me questions like at the very end. He's like, "Dad, what did happen to all the Jedi? Why is everyone Luke?" Oh God! And so we're pretty much after discussing it, we're gonna start watching the prequels now. So gonna get the prequels, and so he can get educated on all that shit. So that's my Geek Dad moment of the week.
These aren't
Star
the droids you're
Wars.
looking for. Move along. I don't know. It fell. God,
You will remove the
See
restraint.
that stormtrooper try to assassinate me? Fucking stormtrooper. You can't trust a stormtrooper. I'm gonna put Kylo down for a second here.
Yeah.
You know
So what's your Geek Dad moment of the week, bro?
My Geek Dad moment of the week this week was... Hang on. Let me put it back.
Stormtroopers?
Yeah. No stormtroopers. Well, first thing, my geek awesome dad moment of the week had nothing to do with my kids. I bought this for myself. Woo! Look at that.
Mm-hmm.
I bought it at the coolest comic book store. I think I told you about it.
Yeah.
We'll give them a little plug in a second. So my family this weekend, I didn't really major geek dad moment of the week this weekend. Me and my family went up to Leavenworth, Washington. It's a little Bavarian town up north. I know you're familiar with it, Ryan, but anybody who's watching this who's never been there, it's a cool little, like I said, little German-style village. It's got a lot of just food and beer and lots of fun things to do. Yeah. I would say my Geek Dad moment of the week has to do with my kids and family finally got me to ride a horse.
Have you ever ridden a horse before?
I have ridden a horse. So my very first horse experience was I had some friends, some neighbors, who had some property up in the mountain when I was living down in Colorado. And they wanted to know if I wanted to go on a horseback ride with them. And I was like, well, I've never been. Is it, will it be, can I do it? Oh, yeah, you'll be fine. It'll be no big deal. So they didn't tell me it was a 14-hour horse ride up into the mountains.
14 hours?
14 hours that I carried a 50-pound salt block halfway, all the way up there. And we had to go up there and check on, because they had some like free-range cattle. So we rode our horses all the way up there. It was a fun ride, I mean, as far as it was, but the amount of soreness that I had, it was just epically terrible. And so I've sworn off riding horses. And so my wife is always trying to get me to ride a horse because she grew up around horses, and she's like, we should ride horses. I'm like, fuck you. You go to hell.
Get your own horse.
And so I can tell the wife no, but now I've got two small girls who are like, Daddy, we want to ride a horse. And I'm just like, oh. And then they kind of gave me the... all we really ever want is just to ride a horse. I'm like, oh, fuck it. All right, fine. So I look at my wife. I'm like, fine. I was like, how long is it? She's like, it's only an hour ride. I'm like, fine, but you're paying for it. I am not paying to get on this stupid horse. So anyway, but we rode a horse. It was fun. I mean, it was, whatever. The girls had a good time, and I guess that's really all that matters. But no, we had a fun time, and then we walked around town, and Leavenworth has recently added a comic book shop, which they did not have before, so I was very excited, and my daughter was the one who pointed it out. She's like, Daddy, look, and I turn around, and I'm like, holy crap, it's a comic book store, and she's like, can we go in there? I'm like, oh yeah, we can totally go in there. Except for I was told Dick, and I didn't buy her anything, but I bought myself that Kylo Ren, and I bought myself this Batman.
Ooh.
And I did buy my youngest, Charlie, for her 4th birthday. It's coming up here soon. She wanted, they had all these pop figures on the wall, and she saw one. She's like, Daddy, I want that one. Supergirl. So, of course, I bought it for her.
Oh, yeah.
For her birthday. So, but yeah, so this comic
no,
place.
we're not going to buy it. You and your mom go leave the store right now.
Yeah, pretty much. That's exactly what happened.
I have to go use the bathroom. And I'll be right back.
They left. Well, it's pretty cool. They had all the shops had taken part in this Where's Waldo thing. So you get this pamphlet that tells you which stores have a hidden Waldo, and then you go to each store and you find the Waldo in the store, and then they stamp it, and then after you get all the stamps, you got some free cookies or something. So it was pretty fun. So we spent the day kind of going around finding Waldo with the kids. They had a cool old time bookstore. For any of you our younger viewers who don't know what a book is, it's what's on your iPad now. It used to come in paper form.
Yeah, and you could open up, smell it.
You could smell it. It's actually the superior way to read a book, in my opinion. But yeah, so we did all that. But yeah, this comic book shop, I'd like to give them a little bit of a plug. If you guys are ever in Leavenworth, if anybody who listens, the name of the shop, like I said, it's a Bavarian town, so it's very Christmassy, and it is Krampus's Cave with a K, K-A-V-E. Yes. Krampus Cave, Krampus's Cave.
That's pretty badass.
And they got this logo of Krampus, like Santa, like running, but he's got like comic books sticking out of his bag. It's pretty awesome.
That is pretty awesome.
So
Did they have any shirts or anything? I would have
No,
totally
they didn't have any shirts. I'm gonna, next time I go up there, I'm gonna tell them, like, listen, if you guys got any shirts, I would wear one on my podcast, on our podcast. I'll send you one too.
Yeah.
So anyway, that was my geek demo of the week. It wasn't really too geeky, but it was just a fun family time. Like I said, we just got to wait for the weekend and just kind of hung out. So, and I rode a horse. Any of my friends who want to see what that's like, I took a little 30-second video that got more views than any podcast I've ever done. So maybe I should just podcast from a horse.
I think that might be an avenue.
That's my niche. Explore. That's what the people want. Brian on a horse.
Yes.
I think people just like to watch me doing things I don't want to do. Maybe that'll be our new podcast. Shit our wives make us do. There you go. All right, well, you got anything else? We jump into Ninja News?
Yep.
All right, so, Ninja News, people. We got a lot of trailer stuff for everybody. But, we're going to give you guys the fisting of knowledge, the judo chop of information, and
the Cobra Kai leg sweep of contemplations.
All right. We'll go with it. It's a big word.
It's a big word. But I'm also a big person, and I'm an adult.
All right. So. Well, we're gonna roll. I felt like our energy tonight is like, yeah, fuck it.
The theme of the night is too adult or not too adult.
Is that gonna be the name of the show? That is
the question.
Is that the name of our show tonight? Episode 63? Fuck it.
All right. Yeah.
No, that won't be it. It'll be something.
But I mean, like we said earlier, it is San Diego Comic-Con, and basically the next 5 days, it's just gonna be like
information.
18 trailers a day, and posters, and weird shit's gonna be happening all over. So basically, it's like everyone's been jerking off like the last 2 weeks, and now it's like just coming everywhere.
Well, yeah.
I don't know why I'm on a sexual reference.
I'm just letting you go with it, man. I mean,
you
were on quite the tangent there. I couldn't even speak right tonight. You were on
I've been drinking.
Yeah, whatever. Well, before Comic-Con is starting to blow its load over everything, Ryan, Star Wars Celebration blew its galactic load all over London.
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
I heard.
Brexit left, and Star Wars came right in the rear.
Brexit. And then you're like, you know what? Fuck the European Union. We're going to a galaxy far, far away.
Yep. And Vader came in and said, fuck it. We'll just we'll pick up this mic and we'll run with it. So to Ryan's point about...
I got a quick question, though. Does that make the Queen of England Emperor Palpatine? Or
Empress Palpatine?
Yeah.
Maybe.
Does that make the Queen?
It's possible.
Yes. Okay. That's all I wanted to say.
That was a bad attempt at humor.
Go back.
We're going to rewind. So to Ryan's point, we will be trying to keep up with all the information as it breaks with San Diego. We'll throw up on our Facebook page at Geek Dad Report, or our Twitter account, also at Geek Dad Report. And we will try and let you guys know everything as it's happening. And we'll talk a little bit about the show next week. But like I said, keep up on our social sites. I'll probably also be tweeting a lot of it on my Twitter account at BrianWest53. And I'm sure Ryan will retweet my tweets on his Twitter account at Big Bruiser.
Hey, I'm good at it. I say stuff.
Just kidding, man. Don't be so sensitive. I feel like you're trying to pick your nose, but you're trying to do it very slowly.
Oh.
Anyway, so
I just shaved yesterday.
Well, you kept getting closer. You're like,
it's that second day. Like for me, like my stubble gets really itchy, so I'm like trying to subtly this part right here. On my mustache.
I feel like you're kicking your leg right now as you're scratching. All right, whatever. Anyway, back on track. Yeah. Star Wars Celebration happened this week, people, and there was some pretty cool stuff that came out of it. That is why I, have my lightsaber in my hand. Not that I ever need a reason to play with my lightsaber, but...
Ryan usually just keeps one in his back pocket, so...
Oh, there's a big lightsaber in my bed, Ryan. Booyah! But anyway, this guy had some information about his upcoming movie. Star Wars Episode 8 has finished shooting. I don't know.
Finished filming already? It
Yeah, they
seemed like
finished.
the
Well, I'm
script.
sure they'll go in for reshoots, and the internet will explode and melt, and be like, "Whoa, what are they changing? The story's going down in
Oh, it's
flames
gonna
and
be
crumbling."
terrible. They don't know what they're doing.
But yeah, so that's a little bit of news. But the big news coming out of Celebration is two things. One, that Star Wars Rebels Season 3 is going to introduce Grand Admiral Thrawn back into the Star Wars universe, official canon now.
Now, I had to ask you and Chris, or Exifer, but just in case everyone is like me, can you just do a brief
Yeah, I'll do it very, very brief. So, Admiral Thrawn was introduced by Kevin J. Oh, I'm going to butcher his last name. I think it's, well, I'm not going to butcher it, I forgot. I think it's Kevin J. Anderson. He wrote the original Hand of Thrawn trilogy. It's one of the first real big post Return of the Jedi book sagas. So, very good. Introduced some huge characters into the I don't know, the Star Wars expanded universe before LucasArts got rid of it once they, well, not got rid of it, but made it its own storyline thing when they purchased Star Wars. So basically, what this character is he was an admiral that the Emperor had used for his tactician, for his brain, basically, because the Emperor did not like aliens, so he never played a role in the original trilogy. At least that's what the backstory was, to kind of keep him hidden. But what this guy does, he's a super smart military genius who uses the artwork of whatever culture or person he's going up against, because he believes that you can find the person's soul, their strategy, who they are in their artwork. So he studies their art and determines who they are through that art, and usually comes up with these crazy strategies to beat people. So think as powerful as Palpatine is physically and Vader physically, that's how smart this guy is as a tacticianer. So I mean, he is a mega villain that is going to be great. I mean, if he's anything like he was in the books, which it sounds like his story is going to be very similar to what he was in the book. In fact, Kevin J. Anderson is actually getting to reintroduce the character in the book form. They're coming out with a Thrawn book, an official canon, giving him his new backstory. So the guy who originally created him is going to get to write his backstory yet again for the second time in a new book. But
that's
the big
some pretty
news
good recognition of a character. Or
Yeah,
are
this-
you creating a character that
Well-
they're like, you know what, you did it so good.
Well, yeah. Well, when the
can
EU
come
was
back.
when the book expanded universe was kind of uncanonized and said it's no longer, when it became part of the Legends, this was one of the characters. There was a handful of stories and characters that people were very upset about losing, and this is one of them. The Hand of Thrawn trilogy is still, even though it's not official canon anymore, I still recommend everybody read it. Is one of the best. I would put it there as far as a trilogy with the original trilogy as far as storytelling. It is so good. But this is a big character. I mean, it's pretty cool. He wears a completely white admiral uniform. He's got a completely blue face with dark blue hair and red eyes. Like I said, he's very intelligent, super smart, very much respects his enemies. He's not vindictive and brutal, say like Palpatine and Vader. He's one of those bad guys that you almost respect because, he's not I mean, he's a villain, but he's not your typical villain per se. He's just on the wrong side of who you're rooting for. So, but yeah, it's just very exciting that this character is finally being brought back into official canon. And what does this mean for the movies and everything else? I don't know, maybe nothing. But considering we do have some characters, we have at least one character in Rebels that are in Rogue One that was introduced in Star Wars Clone Wars cartoons. Bringing a character into the cartoons now means that they could possibly be in the movies at some point as well. So.
Yeah,
Very excited for Grand Admiral Thrawn and the new book. So check out the Hand of Thrawn. That's already out. You can find those in the Legends category of the Star Wars books. They are worth a read, even though they are no longer officially canon. But if you just want to know about Thrawn, like I said, Star Wars Episode 3, they are Rebels. Star Wars Episode 3. Star Wars Rebels Season 3. There's a teaser trailer out. We put it up on our Facebook page, and that should be coming here in the next couple months. So something to look forward to, I'm telling you.
If they start streaming them somewhere, I'll let people know because I've been trying to find it because I am behind.
Yeah, you need to get caught up. Rebels is amazing. That little bit of news, like I said, coming out of Celebration was some Rogue One stuff. They released a pretty badass new poster. It's got the planet that the Death Star is kind of circling, and they've got the Death Star in the background. It looks like a tropical planet. It looks pretty cool for a poster. We put it up on our Facebook page. Check it out. Let us know what you think. The other little bit of news, they released a behind-the-scenes kind of 2-minute trailer of Rogue One. It's starting to look pretty awesome. I'm getting really excited for Rogue One. the little featurette was pretty cool. It had Warwick Davis and a bunch of the actors from the series kind of talking about their experience, and it wasn't quite as nostalgic as the Force Awakens one that they released before the Force Awakens came out, because that one we were all waiting for forever. But this one's it did the job. It got the juices flowing. I'm pretty excited. And then people who were at the panel for Rogue One got a treat when they released another 1.5-minute long trailer that featured Darth Vader at the end. So there is a copy online that you can find. I've watched it. It's very gritty and grainy. It definitely looks pretty awesome. I'm not going to lie, even the gritty and grainy. So I'm hoping that a new trailer is inbound here soon in the next month or so, but I don't know. But it looks pretty awesome, so I'm fairly excited. Last little bit of news I do want to say about Rogue One. I will not spoil it for anybody who does not want to know, but there was a pretty big spoiler that was dropped at the Rogue One panel. I won't say which characters because it would spoil it, but one character confirmed that another character was going to die. So a lot of us didn't think that every character would be coming out of this alive, but it's still pretty disappointing when somebody confirms that someone's dead even before the movie comes out. So
when it was probably like a big, you know,
well, Kathleen
Kennedy, like a Han Solo level, someone dying.
Yeah, apparently Kathleen Kennedy was at the panel, and she was sitting up there and did not look very impressed. And apparently the moderator was trying to like save, just like, oh, I think you've said enough. Let's move on. You know, and I'm just like, oh no. And apparently later Kathleen Kennedy was taking a pic. People were taking pictures in front of her that had a big sign that says "Loose lips sink galactic ships."
Yeah, so, that is awesome.
Yeah, it was pretty funny. Like I said, I won't spoil it for you guys. I mean, it's not a major. I mean, it's a major revelation. It's one of the major core characters, but I mean, it's not going to ruin the movie if you know it. It's not like they said Jane Erso dies in the first 20 minutes of the movie. So, but if you do want to know, just Google it. You can find it. We will not reveal it. I did not tell Ryan. He did not want to know, so I will not spoil it for anybody else who does wish to stay in the dark. But it is out there if you want to know it, and you can check it out. So. Let's see what we got here. All right, moving on. We do not have a ton of news, so we'll try and rapid fire through this. Voltron Season 2, or Voltron on Netflix, has been renewed for Season 2.
Woohoo.
Yeah,
I still watched the first one.
We will commit to you that we will watch it at some point and talk about it on the show.
Yeah.
Black Sails, a show I am just a giant fan of on Starz, has been renewed for Season 4. Unfortunately, apparently it's going to be its final season, which is disappointing, but from a storytelling perspective, I can understand why they want to end it after the season. Anybody who's not familiar with Black Sails, it's basically a prequel, a kind of a historical / fictional prequel to the book Treasure Island. So it's based on those characters, kind of how they got to Treasure Island, and it's also loosely on a lot of fictional stuff. It's truly inspired, real historical characters. So it's a great show. If you haven't watched it, check it out on Starz. The first season is a little slow. I will warn you right now, it drags on. But the second and third seasons were absolutely amazing. So Black Sails, great show. Show I haven't watched, but I've heard it's really good, is Teen Wolf on, I believe, MTV. Has been renewed for Season 6, but it will be its final season. So if you're a Teen Wolf fan, you got one more season, and it's gone. Then go watch the Michael J. Fox movie, which is clearly a better movie.
Yes. If someone hasn't ridden on top of a car yet, I'd be really disappointed.
Yeah, that's true. But don't watch Teen Wolf 2 with Justin Bateman. That's not nearly as good. It's basically terrible. Teen Wolf 1, but without Michael J. Fox, who's awesome.
Yes.
It's not nearly as good. Something that's also not very good is the Divergent movie series. I've seen most of them, and I don't know why I've watched them, because they're terrible. They're bad even for young adult movies. Apparently, whoever makes them agrees. I think it's Lionsgate agreed, and their final movie, it's the fourth movie. The third movie massively underperformed at the box office, so Lionsgate has decided to not make the fourth movie and instead turn it into a TV movie that can lead into an ongoing television show.
Oh my!
So this is the first time that's
made for TV movie.
Yes, this is the first time this has ever happened. They are going to finish the story that the first 3 movies is going to finish that story on a TV movie. They haven't announced the network or even if the actors will come back for it, which I'm going to say no, they're not coming back for it. But yeah, that's what's going to happen. So if you're
that's like I don't think I've ever seen anything.
I don't think it's ever happened like that.
Like that.
Yeah, I've never heard of it. So this
it's probably going to be on like the Hallmark Channel.
Oh my god!
So then like nobody.
Come on, we all know it's going to be on that. I forget. I think was it Freeform, the ABC Kids channel.
Oh god.
You know that's where it's going to be. Hey, if it's on HBO, I might watch it. If HBO wants to get the rights, might be interesting. They usually make good shit.
HBO will not waste their money on that shit.
Probably not. You know why HBO
They're
would waste
like,
their
we
money on
got
it?
Game of Thrones.
Because they're making Game of Thrones, Ryan. Game of Thrones, in fact, a little bit of Game of Thrones is kind of disappointing news, honestly. Usually we don't talk about Game of Thrones in a sad news.
It's sad. Sad Game of Thrones news. But
not really surprising, though. I think we've kind of known this is coming for a while. Game of Thrones, their showrunners came out this week and announced that Game of Thrones will, in fact, Season 7 will be a short season. It will, in fact, be 7 episodes instead of 10. And that it will not start, it won't show until, August? Or the summer sometime? Next summer?
July 2017.
Yeah, usually it airs April.
Summer, so...
Yeah, usually it's April, I think, when it airs, but they're going to. So what was it? They needed to wait for winter to come so they could actually shoot in the winter, since winter has come to Westeros.
Yeah, they film in Northern Ireland, Iceland, and some other place. So yeah, they said they wanted to do it more because they're trying to do more of a changing of seasons. Mm-hmm. And so if they do a later filming start, then they can capture that a lot better. So
you know what?
Because usually they'd be filming like right now. So
you know, this is bullshit. We have waited for 6 seasons to winter for winter to come, and now it finally came, and now they're delaying it because they need it to keep coming.
Yes.
Story of our lives. You know what? You know what's going to keep coming, regardless, is Star Trek.
Okay. I was just waiting.
You're waiting to see where that was going? Yeah, Star Trek is announced this week, even though Star Trek Beyond, I believe, it opens this Friday. I'm trying to go see it next weekend.
It's out right now.
Oh, yeah, I guess technically it is out right now. When you're watching it, Star Trek Beyond will be out. We've heard good things. Me and Ryan did not get to screen it early, so sorry, everybody. We do not have a recommendation for you. But we have heard good things. I'm going to try and go see it next week, so hopefully I'll give you guys a thumbs up on some future episode of the Geek Dad Report. But they've already announced that I keep saying episodes. They have announced that Star Trek 4 is going to happen. It has been greenlit, and Chris Hemsworth is coming back as Captain James T. Kirk's father.
Yeah.
So,
and they are not going to recast Chekhov either.
Yeah, they're not going to. That was the other little bit in Star Trek news. They J.J. Abrams said that Anton Yelchin will not be recast in Chekhov. They'll find a way to write him out of the story in a way that's cool, which I think is a classy move. You know, don't recast him. Just that guy was a great. You know, he was in 3 Star Trek movies, and he was a great Chekhov. I hate it when they recast, especially over a tragedy. I would rather them just move on.
Well, could you imagine they recast Paul Walker in the Fast and Furious movie?
Yeah, this is Brian. That's not Brian. That's Paul Walker. You know, that's somebody else. Yeah. But yeah, exactly. So I think that was a good move by J.J. Abrams. But tell me if you've heard this before. Star Trek 4 that involves time travel.
Oh, yeah. Are they going to find a whale, too?
Yeah, I hope they save space. Maybe it'll be space dolphins this time. I don't know. But anyway, I don't care. Chris Hemsworth was awesome, so I'm sure that'll be fun. I'm sure it'll be a cool way that they'll do it. They haven't announced whether he's going to be starring in the movie or just maybe a cameo or a small part. Maybe they'll have him as a holodeck. Costume. My guess is if they're bringing in Thor, it's going to be for a guest starring role. It's not going to be for a 5-minute cameo. So
yes,
I think Hemsworth doesn't do cameos anymore.
Yeah, they can't afford the full-on Hemsworth, I think. So
yeah, the full Hemsworth like Ghostbusters got. That movie's funny. Don't listen to the haters, people. Did you see that we immediately, when we put our review of Ghostbusters out, immediately got a thumbs down?
It did?
Yeah.
God, fuck
dude, the hate is real. Hey, I'm recording. No, don't touch my cord. Get out of here. Go. Damn hooligan kids.
I can't tell if it's your dog or your child.
No, it's my daughter. They just got home from swim lessons. Hang on. Upstairs, you guys. Go. Daddy's recording.
Go away.
Daddy's trying to make big internet dollars.
Don't come back.
Let's see what we were talking about. Star Trek. Let's see what else we got. Speaking of Chris's, Chris Hardwick, the Nerdist, who actually is pretty awesome dude, it sounds like. And I listen to his podcast all the time, and he inspires me daily. I'm a little jealous of his good looks, his fat bank account, and his amazing, successful career. I wish we could get like a fraction of that.
Yeah, but the guy works.
Oh, dude, no. He's worked hard for everything he has.
Several things at once.
No, I don't know if you guys heard that crashing noise. It's my kids upstairs. No, Chris Hardwick, all jokes aside, has worked extremely hard. He might be the hardest working dude in the podcast / media empire right now. And he has been rewarded for all his hard work by AMC. As you guys may know, he does The Talking Dead after The Walking Dead. That was kind of his creation. And they have renewed his contract, signed him up for 3 more years of The Talking Dead, and they're adding Fear the Walking Dead regular show and a Preacher After Preacher show.
Yeah, so going to be Talking Dead Fear Edition, Talking Saul for the.
Oh yeah, and Talking Saul. Thank you.
Yeah, and the Talking Preacher. So, yeah, I mean, I actually really enjoy the Talking Dead. It's kind of like at first I didn't really know what to think, and now I just recorded it right after.
Yeah, well, he's a good host, and they always have such good guests, and they do such a thoughtful conversation about what you just watched that it's intriguing. Yeah. So kudos to him. And like I said, if you guys want to listen to a good podcast besides the Geek Dad Report, The Nerdist is on a couple times a week, and he's a great host, and he's always telling everybody to make something and do your thing, and we appreciate all the words of encouragement that he gives us, even though he doesn't know he's talking to us.
or watch a show at midnight on Comedy Central.
See, I've never watched At Midnight. I've heard it's hilarious. I gotta watch it.
Funny as shit.
All right, I'll have to check it out. So anyway, congratulations, Chris Hardwick. It's always nice to see a fellow nerd make it in the world.
Yes.
Let's see. The last little bit of news we got here. Daredevil season 3 has been Daredevil has been renewed for season 3. Not really a shocker. They've confirmed that it's going to happen. I don't think there's a release date yet. Luke Cage airs this September, and then I want to say Iron Fist is next spring, and then next fall is The Defender. So I'm guessing that we will probably not get Daredevil also next year. So we're probably going to get, I know Jessica Jones season 2 is coming, so my guess is we'll probably get Jessica Jones in March, and then probably Daredevil in August or June.
I could skip Jessica Jones.
We also have Punisher coming, so I don't know.
Oh,
long-rumored Moon Knight, which I'm really looking for.
We are living in the golden age, Brian.
We are. If you're not a nerd now, don't ever be one, because there's no point. This is the best time ever.
Yeah, this is like our time, so fuck you.
This is our time. It's because we're the guys and girls with all the jobs and money. We're the ones fueling this.
Yeah.
And that is, last little bit of news we got is that Indiana Jones, LucasArts is teasing that there's going to be a Indiana Jones movie universe coming soon. So,
LucasArts.
Yeah, we're talking books, games, movies. So I don't know if they'll recast. They've said they'll never recast Harrison Ford, which I think maybe, my guess is that they're going to take the Mutt Jones character, his son, recast that with Chris Pratt, and then go forward.
I just gotta say, for any of the listeners that are old school PC gaming nerds, that if we could get a LucasArts Indiana Jones game on level with the Indiana Jones and the Fate of Atlantis point-and-click adventure game, I would be so satisfied.
They remade that into an Xbox game. It wasn't very good. Yeah, I mean, it was all right.
Oh, it was probably from 1993. I mean, it's an old-ass game. But, it was so hard. Like, you could get all the way to Atlantis, and then, like, you could never get in because, like, the code to get into Atlantis was impossible.
No.
I wasted, like, $20 of my parents' money calling LucasArts hot tip.
Oh, God, I forgot you used to be able to call those hotlines. That's so good.
Yeah, that's when you know you're old.
Oh, I forgot about that. I used to get the Nintendo Power. When you got a Nintendo Power subscription, you actually got like 20 minutes free to call the Nintendo hotline.
Yeah, God, man, shit was so fucking hard back
I used
then.
a rotary phone for that. One.
Dude, like the other day, my son, God, what was he playing? He was playing something, and he goes, "Dad, can you just look up on the internet how I gotta beat this?" I'm like, no, fucking figure it out, because I had to figure shit out.
Well,
and
now they have the internet, right?
Yeah, well, now, like, I'll be playing Fallout New Vegas, and I was like, God, I can't figure out this fucking quest. I'm like, still keep the game on and just pull up my phone, Fallout New Vegas quest.
Cheaters. You kids are cheaters nowadays.
Okay, now I know what to do. It's like, God, I don't know how much money my parents had to spend. They never said anything for whatever reason.
Maybe they thought they did it. Oh, well, whatever. But that being said,
Indiana
Jones...
communicating with another human being.
Yeah.
So, Yeah.
Indiana Jones. Sounds like they have big plans for it at Disney, which we figured they would at some point. But it's coming soon. So last little bit of thing. That's bad English.
Last little bit of thing. Sounds like
Little bit of things of things.
that's the
So
song.
trailers. Oh, trailers. There was a shit ton of them. We're gonna briefly touch on each
So,
one, and we're gonna blow
let's
through them.
just say what trailers have come out so people can look.
All right,
for it. We're too much-
Ash vs. the Evil Dead Season 2 on Starz has a trailer. It looks batshit crazy, which is awesome because the first season looks amazing. Triple X 3, The Return of Xander Cage, looks absolutely ridiculous. I'm not going to lie, we're completely sold. He skis down a mountain without snow,
Yes.
and then off a tree. He skis down a tree, too. You just got to watch the trailer. It's so
Yeah.
absolutely not even remotely possible that it puts you in the realm of fuck it, let's just watch
Yes.
it.
Yes. I've been looking forward to a movie that just says fuck it. And
Yeah, the Batman from Telltale Games has finally released a trailer. It looks pretty good. It's going to be coming out soon, so you can check that out. Magnificent Seven, was starring Chris Pratt and Denzel Washington, has a second trailer, and it looks amazing. That comes out this September. Kickboxer, the blah blah blah,
Van
the
Damme.
return of Jean-Claude Van Damme.
Is he gonna like dip his hands and?
Yeah, it's
Like,
got God, what's it? It's got Dave Bautista this time as he
Yeah.
plays the evil Asian guy. I know he's not Asian, but he plays.
Well, there was a movie that did a parody of that scene. Where
Yeah,
they're
Hot
like,
Shots.
They stick their hand. What was it?
Hot Shots Part Deuce.
Yeah,
It's a great
that's
movie.
right.
He puts like
Like,
gummy
he,
bears
like,
on
sticks
his,
hand
and he's
in,
got
like
caramel.
gummy worms
Yeah.
and like gummy
Um,
bears. They're
Yeah,
like,
I mean, I'm not gonna sit here and say that the God, I can't fucking talk tonight. The Kickboxer blah, blah, Vengeance trailer looks amazing. The movie looks terrible, but I'm gonna totally watch
oh
it.
yeah. But she
Totally.
want it to be terrible. It cannot be like a good movie.
Check it out and let us know what you think. And then
Yes.
finally, Luke Cage and Iron Fist both got teaser trailers today at Comic-Con, so those are up and you can check them out. We've not shared them yet on the Facebook or our Twitter accounts, but I will make sure they get up in the next day or so. So if you cannot wait till then, just Google it and you'll find them, and they look pretty cool. So that's it. That's all news we got. Woo! Old school.
Yay. Stuff happened.
Stuff happened. Now you know about it. Now you can tell Bob at the water cooler that he's an idiot, and he doesn't know what the fuck he's talking about. Fuck you, Bob. You don't know what you're talking about. I do.
Shit got a better name. Bob.
Yeah, Bob's a terrible name. Nobody likes Bob. What about Bob? Fuck Bob.
Well,
That's what about
My
Bob.
grandpa's name is Bob.
All right, well, sorry about your grandpa, Ryan. My stepdad's name is
My
Bob.
grandpa.
Total loser. What if he's watching? If you're watching, Bob, sorry.
No, he
I
doesn't.
don't think you're a loser.
So.
Just joking. We're just going with the jokes, Bob. God, why are you judging us, Bob? Don't judge us. It's called a joke. You need to learn how to take it. A lot of pent-up stepdad aggression there. Let me move on.
Brian's got a lot of pent up stuff going on right now. So
How about the Geek Dad Therapy Report? That's going to be next week's episode.
the Geek Dad Therapy Report is just going to be us screaming until we pass
Well,
out.
because I got some rage because From the Faithful 50 this week only got one single question. One. So,
You know,
Eric,
and I want to personally say thank you to Eric.
We're
sending in
double fucking gold star of the week. We're bringing it back. Everybody else, you lost a gold star. How dare you?
You know what? I think Eric should get a promotion. in the
Eric? Well, yeah, why
in
not?
The GDR Army.
Phil, I
Right.
think Phil left us. Phil deserted the army. I haven't heard
Yeah.
from Phil in forever. He might have been eaten by
Phil-
a bear. He does a
Phil's
lot of
gone
camping.
on full on like.
I think he's
traitor.
really mad that we did not promote him to general, or he got eaten by a bear. That is possible.
Yes. So Eric, you're being promoted from a cadet to a private first class.
Yeah, Private First Class Jeff, I think he is probably watching Batman Superman right now as we speak, so he's probably
Yes.
forgotten all time and reality because he's been watching that
Yeah.
on a loop.
You get a pass, Jeff, for this 1 week. But
Faithful 50 member Brian and Chris, I don't know what their story is, but we're going to find out.
yes.
Because it
Evil
let us down
Chris,
for the last
I don't know what
time.
happened to Evil Chris, but you know.
Evil Chris may or may not have got a new iMac and is probably just staring at it and forgot where he's at right now.
Yeah. Well, he was at work when he got it. So
Oh, really? Where does he work at? Where's the parking lot? Let's go. I think it's in his car. Let's go get it.
yes.
All right, anyway, but thank you, Eric. We're just joking, everybody. You do not have to give us a question, but we did only get one, so I guess this segment will be short. Eric wants to know... Let's see here. What did
It's about
I think of the Ultimate Edition of Batman v Superman, since Ryan hasn't watched it yet? And also, how do I feel about all the variant covers they put out? He thinks it makes speculating a little harder. As far as variant covers go, I think variant covers are fine. I mean, everybody does it for different reasons. Whatever. Pick the one you like and move on with it. I was around in the collector era of comics when variant covers seemed to kind of spring to life. And I don't know, it's a way to move things. You pick your favorite one and just go with it. So I don't really mind variant covers as long as it's not like, this is a super uber edition that you have to pay $100 for.
If you want to spend your money for something that looks really cool, by all means, go for it.
Yeah.
I will not. It had no interest whatsoever. It's just because I don't see the value in it down the road, even.
Yeah.
I
find that just get the standard edition cover of anything and just go on with it. Usually, I find the content is better than the covers of things.
Well,
anyway.
here's the value of variant covers. I have a guy that I work with that's really into comic book collecting, and remember when DC had all those hologram covers recently?
Oh yeah.
Well, the Superman one was like $500 something for one of them. He said he waited 2 months and got it for $1.
Yeah. So
but a $500
as a guy, yeah,
retail cost.
As a guy who collected a lot of things in comics, especially, and in his upstairs closet, he's got massive hologram covers and variant covers. Let me tell you something about variant covers. So they're only valuable if there's not a lot of them, and so when they mass release variant covers, they're not worth shit. So get the cover you think is cool and then just go with it. I find that generally the original covers are the best ones to get anyway, because 50, 100 years from now, when that comic is not in circulation anymore, collectors aren't going to want the alternate version. They're going to want the actual straight up version of the comic. They're going to want the original. So anyway, that's on that. But as far as your question about Batman v Superman, the Ultimate Edition, what I think, funny enough for you,
this is a perfect segue.
Perfect segue, because I watched it. I got it on Tuesday. I waited because I didn't know they were going to release the digital copy a month early, or else I just would have bought it on digital. So instead, I pre-ordered my Blu-ray copy and had to wait a goddamn month. Warner Brothers, you dickholes. Ultimate fan here, and I had to wait a month because you guys are assholes, and I didn't want to spend another $20 buying a digital copy.
And
you could have told me.
Our good friend Exefer then proceeded to taunt Brian for the last month about how great it was.
Well, that's the worst part. Everybody knows how big of a fan I am and how much I actually even like the original version of this movie. And everyone's like, have you seen it yet? Have you seen it? They want to talk to me about it. I'm like, shut up. I don't want to fucking hear it, you sons of bitches. But anyway, long story short, we're going to review this right now. Well, at least I am, because Ryan hasn't a chance to watch it yet. But when my pristine, beautiful copy came in the mail on Tuesday, booyah. Oh, close that.
Oh, no. Oh, God. You better...
I'm putting that code in. I'm putting that code in before we upload. Hang on a second.
Somebody's going to pause that shit and steal your code.
You know what? If somebody wants to pause and steal my code, good luck. But anyway, look at that bad boy. I opened that thing up and I popped it in Tuesday, and I stayed up till 1 in the morning. Got up to go to work at 5:36, and didn't care because I got to watch my Ultimate Edition. So, what did I think about it? It was fucking amazing. This movie is the ultimate cut of this Batman v Superman. Is the movie you should watch. If you want to watch this movie, do not even bother wasting your time with the theatrical release. Watch the Ultimate Edition. It is the definitive edition. It is so much better. A little before I dive into why it's better, I'm going to basically just say, so originally me and Ryan did a review of Batman v Superman, and I think I gave it a 7.5 out of 10, and Ryan had given it a 7 out of 10. We both really enjoyed the movie, but we felt like there was a larger movie there that had been cut out. And the movie was horribly edited, and the storytelling was so choppy that we could not really enjoy the movie as much as we wanted to. So after watching this version, I'm going to drop my theatrical release review to a 6, and I'm going to bump the Ultimate Edition to a 9. I'm going to give this movie a 9 out of 10. That is how much better the Ultimate Edition is versus the crappy theatrical release. Warner Brothers, you screwed Zack Snyder. You screwed the fans, and you screwed Batman and Superman by releasing that hacked-up pile of crap in the theaters.
So you think if they had released that originally, it would have been over like $1 billion?
I do, because I think this movie's a much stronger movie. Word of mouth, I think, would have been much, much more positive. I will say the running time at over 3 hours does feel a little bit long. I really enjoyed the movie, but this movie doesn't add a bunch of action. It mostly adds story. I mean, there's a little bit of extra action. So like the Batman warehouse scene's a little bit longer and a little bit more violent. There's the way they introduce Superman in the beginning is a little bit different, so he gets a little more to do. Superman in general gets a lot more to do, so he gets to flex his muscles and show some more powers, but there's not so much fight scene. So like it shows him flying around and doing some cool stuff, but it never really shows him fighting anybody. So, you know, anybody who's seen this movie, the big action pieces don't happen until about halfway through the movie, and then the last third of the movie is nothing but a giant action sequence. So with a 3-hour running time, it does drag a little bit in the first hour and a half. Not because it's boring, just because there's, you know, it's a lot of story and character moments and, you know, a lot of setup for Justice League and kind of world building that's going on. So I understand why Warner Brothers did cut it a little bit, but that being said, it is an infinitely much more coherent movie and a better, stronger story. So I think the word of mouth would have overcome the 3-hour runtime, and I think it would have been much better received by the critics, by the fans, and I think it would have pushed it over the $1 billion. Yeah, so I do think Warner Brothers really cost themselves, you know, not only a couple $100 million in box office revenues, but I think they cost themselves a lot of just word of mouth praise. I mean, this movie, everybody knows, was split right down the middle, and Warner Brothers has made some huge changes because of it, where I think if they would have released this, it would have been much more positive kind of takeoff for them, and they might not have hit the panic button as much. Now, is that the best thing for the franchise? I don't know. It sounds like they reorganized pretty good. They definitely brought in Jeff Johns, which is a big deal. He's a great comic book guy. Yeah. So ultimately, it may be better for them long term that they made some changes because, you know, the story still is really a dark story, and it's a very intellectual story. I mean, it's not Marvel. It's something that makes you think, and it makes you follow the storylines to where they conclude, and it makes you use your brain, and it has some very adult themes like religion and sacrifice and, you know, and vigilante versus villain, and there's a lot of adult themes in this movie. So, you know, it's never going to be Marvel, and a lot of people, they're still not, probably not going to like it, even though it's a better story. But ultimately, yes, I do think Warner Brothers cost themselves by chopping it up and trying to make it more box out, you know, time friendly for people in the theater.
So, what would you say about, like, because there's that one scene in the desert or whatever.
Okay, so
that one gets a little more context.
Okay, so without trying to give away too much to anybody who hasn't watched it yet, I don't want to ruin the stuff that it's going to tell you. I mean, you can't really ruin the movie, even if you do know some of the stuff, but I'll give you a basic overlay of what is included in this that wasn't included before. So if you watch the original cut of the movie, there's this huge African subplot about everyone's blaming Superman for all these people dead, and you just don't know what's going on. So in this movie, they actually put all that back into it, and they showed basically Lex Luthor's men manipulating a situation to make it look like Superman kills a whole bunch of people. So that storyline then kind of goes throughout the entire movie, and it makes a lot more sense now. A couple more things that this movie does do a good job of is it adds a lot more Lois Lane in this movie. So a lot of people criticize the fact that this movie didn't do anything with Lois Lane. She was basically a wasted character. Same with Perry White and a lot of the Superman subplot. That's all added back into here. Most of the stuff that's cut is Lois Lane, Clark Kent, Perry White, Superman stuff. So this definitely puts back the Superman sequel into this movie. You know, you understand the character's motivations a lot more. Even at the very end, when Superman makes a sacrifice, this builds up the whole why people don't like him, why he's struggling so much. A lot of people said, you know, oh, this Superman, he never smiles. Well, this movie tells you why he's not smiling. You know, a lot of people blame him for a lot of things. A lot of people think he's a bad person. The movie does a much better job of making you understand like what it feels like to be Superman, a guy with ultimate power who just wants to do good, but half the world hates you and half the world loves you and treats you as a god. So it definitely pulls at that idea, and it does a much better job of fleshing that whole thing out. And Lois and Clark's relationship, and like I said, it gives Lois a lot to do. She follows the whole she's basically the person who's unfolding Lex Luthor's whole plan. And Lex Luthor's another character that really benefited from this extra half hour. In the original cut, it basically sounded like he was just kind of this crazy person who threw some stuff together. He found out who Batman Superman was.
He just happened to be really smart.
Yeah, he just happened to be. He figured out everything, and then he kind of made this. He just seemed kind of crazy. And this, he's definitely crazy still, but he's much more like I don't know, like evil villain overlord crazy. He's more like Emperor Palpatine crazy and less like Joker
like
crazy.
the original comic book Lex Luthor, he's kind of more eccentric.
Well, this movie does a great job of showing how Lex Luthor set into motion this entire plan and watched it as it followed through. So it just makes a lot more sense. Also, another thing that makes a ton more sense is Batman. His motivations, why he... You know, in the original cut, it just seemed like Batman was this big, mean dude who just beat everybody
big,
up.
Angry old guy.
Yeah, killed everybody. Now, some of that's still in this movie, don't get me wrong, but at least it shows a progression of why Batman's escalated. And they added a lot more stuff with Alfred, which is great. Alfred is so good in this movie. But Alfred basically acts as his conscience and acts as the viewer and explaining to us why Batman has gone from being, you know, a beacon of hope or justice to being way more of just a straight badass vigilante and how he's really kind of starting to cross that line into villain. So, and it also makes sense that when Batman comes back and becomes a good guy again at the end, basically, you understand how he's able to come back to that because you see who he was and how Lex pushed him to the point where he was willing to kill Superman. So, but like I said, I mean, those are the major moments. There's a few cool little actions. There's a couple of things with Batman that they add that I won't spoil that is pretty awesome. There's one that's kind of weird. They have Ben Affleck in a shower, so you see some bat buns. Not really sure what that was all about, but...
He's showering in the Batsuit?
He's showering in the Batcave, and he's just like, you know...
Does he wear, like, Batman underwear in the shower?
No, he's buck naked in the shower. It would be pretty cool if he was just wearing the bat cowl, and that's it.
Yeah.
But there's just, like, a lot of little things. Like, if you ever wondered why Clark Kent was at that event, that Lex Luthor library opening for no reason, he just happened to be there, they actually explain how he ends up there. There's a lot, like I said, all the little subtlety. So, of all the criticisms of Zack Snyder, and there's many and a lot of them are fair, you know, sometimes he's not a great storyteller, as you know, evident in Sucker Punch, but one thing he's always been is he's always told a good story, or at least he's always been a coherent storyteller. He's had a beginning, a middle, and end, and he's done a good job of taking you along on that journey. Where Batman v Superman felt so chopped up and edited, I just felt like there was a better movie there. And sure enough, this movie is a completely coherent movie. So if you hated Batman Superman because of the editing and you felt there was a bigger story there that wasn't told, you're going to love this because that is exactly what you get. You get a complete story. All the little things that did not make sense in this. Now, there's still moments, if you hated the movie because you thought the Martha moment was stupid and you thought the movie's too dark and you don't like the fact that Batman killed people, you're not going to this isn't going to fix all those because it's still that tone and a lot of those themes are in this movie. They're just much better, you know, told, and it's just a much more coherent movie. So,
so with all the extra 30 minutes, it seems like that's a lot of stuff that happened. So are these like just really quick scenes like you might miss out?
No,
or is it subtle, or is it like they come in, you're like, oh, this is the new scene?
I would honestly say there's probably 15 minutes of straight new footage and subplots with another 15 minutes of subtle scenes that they use to transition the scenes much, much better. So,
okay.
It doesn't feel like a complete...
Some just might be like an extra 30 seconds, like a minute or
yeah,
something.
Well, like I said, with the Alfred stuff, I bet you there's probably only additional maybe 2 minutes of Alfred footage put in, but they're, you know, 10 seconds here, 15 seconds there. It's dialogue that makes the other dialogue make sense. If that makes sense. So, it's like, I think in our review we talked about that Batman v Superman felt like a giant puzzle that wasn't put together right. This movie is a complete puzzle. So, you may not like the tone, you may not like the story, but the movie's a complete movie. So if you're going to watch it, or if you've never seen it, this is the definitive. This is the version you have to watch. I wish Warner Brothers would just retcon it and say there was no theatrical release. This is the version, and just get rid of all the copies because there's no universe that copy should be shown. This is, yeah, it's just, I mean, like I said, there's the Africa scene that they add in completely. There's a whole, you know, Clark actually goes. You actually see Clark go to Gotham to investigate Batman, find out about him, figure out whether he's a good guy or a bad guy. So that way, when he finally shows up and tells Clark to fuck off, or tells Batman to piss off, you actually go, okay, you know why Superman wants him gone because he's done he's investigated and it's just, it makes a lot more sense. So, you know, I highly recommend this version.
So
the Ultimate Edition.
So from a 7 to 6 for the theatrical and 9 for the Ultimate Edition.
9 for the Ultimate Edition. It's not perfect. It still has some flaws. There's still some dialogue that's kind of campy and some choice decisions by a few characters that have me scratching my head. But overall, the movie was deep. It was dark. It was emotional. It made a hell of a lot more sense. And
Was there any more extra Wonder Woman stuff?
very subtle Wonder Woman stuff, but they left most of Wonder Woman stuff intact. I guess the best thing I can say about this is with all the character development and everything that they lead up to that final fight, when Superman makes his sacrifice, I actually felt it this time versus the last time when I'm just like, that's stupid. When everybody is mourning Superman, I felt it this time. When Batman changes because of the Martha moment, I felt it a lot more. I mean, everything they build up makes you give a shit about what happens at the end. Where when I watched the original one, I liked the movie, but I just didn't care because the story didn't make me care. Now it did. Now it does. So
everyone needs to go get it, and I will be stealing Brian's code right after the show.
Booyah.
Since he just showed it to everybody. So.
All right. Let us know what you think about Batman: The Ultimate Edition, Batman v Superman. If you have not watched it, watch it and tell us what you think. Anyway, on that note, we got a quick recommendation. What do you got?
My recommendation for this week, I just thought about it as I was touching my still sorry, I don't know if you can see, but my whole hand had swollen up like half of a baseball mitt because I was carrying 2 giant stacks of water that we bought at the Costco. They're like the 24 case. I was like, why don't you carry one at a time? I was like, oh, fuck it, I can carry 2.
I'm a man.
So I was running up the stairs with them because they were starting to slip and fall. And eventually I got to the top of the stair, and the one slipped and fell. And then the other one fell on top of my hand, smashed it between the side of the very sharp part of the wood banister, and just sliced open my hand. Like,
nice.
So my recommendation this week is that don't try and show off.
That is a lot of build-up for your recommendation.
When your wife tells you to, no, just be a man. Just suck it up and do it.
Well,
I don't know.
All right.
I'm tired.
Yeah, that's fine. Well, so on the I can't even speak because I've already recommended this. I'm just gonna go ahead and recommend this again. My recommendation this week is buy Batman v Superman: The Ultimate Edition. I actually had a full little mini review of The Magicians on the Sci-Fi Channel. I binge watched it last week, and I want to talk about it. But we're not really running long, but we want to end this because Ryan's tired and so am I. So I will talk about that. I promise to give you guys a full review of The Magicians on the Sci-Fi Channel next week. So in the meantime, buy Batman v Superman Ultimate Edition and fucking watch it because it's goddamn amazing. 9 out of 10. 9.
We don't got any outro music. So.
Oh, no, we don't.
Give me a word, I'll do some more slam poetry.
Ultimate.
We're leaving the show.
Boom.
Because it was ultimate.
Boom.
I can't think of anything to
rhyme. Oh my god. Hey, I don't know about you. No? How about this one? What a highway to the Geek Dad Report. We're flying right into the Geek Dad Report. Episode 63. Thanks for joining us, everybody. As always, you can find us on our YouTube page, and we'll be back next week. As always, stay awesome, motherfuckers.
As my hero, Chris Hardwick, would always say, enjoy your burrito.
Enjoy your burrito and your Batman pop doll. You gotta do it in a Batman voice. Enjoy your goddamn burrito, or I'll fucking kill you. Because I'm from the Zack Snyder universe. Wow. Alright, guys. Thanks. See you next week.
Bye.
Danger Zone!